Hi, how you doing? We're back to the first Thursday of the year. I hope you all had a really good Christmas and good New Year. We had a very pleasant Christmas. People have been ill since, but we had a really nice, chilled. It was a good Christmas. So it's lovely to see you all back. Not that I can see you, but you know what I mean. So we're back doing little projects. It's really difficult to try and find a project that we haven't done with you. I've been looking through Pinterest and I think, done that, that'll take too long, done that. So I might start doing longer projects which we do over 2 weeks. It might be the way to go, I think. So how are you all? How's it all going? Hiya Carolyn, Jean, Anne, welcome back. We're doing a cast steering wheel cover today. It's something that I bought one. It's a fluffy one and it's getting a bit manky now. So I thought, well, that's something we haven't done. Something that I've been looking at doing for myself anyway. So I thought I'd do that. But before we do, don't forget we've got our sponsored sew on Sunday. So we will be live for 12 hours. So good luck with that, people. We'll be live for 12 hours, but we are looking for sponsorship. So if you would like to find our Just Giving page, Shana's set it up. We will put another link up for it so that it might still be at the top of our White Gecko page. So have a look at that and just drop us a couple of quid. It doesn't have to be a lot, just £2 will be lovely. It just means that you're with us, you're thinking of us. Okay, so that would be really cool. What else have we got? Don't forget the sale's still on. Some of you are taking well advantage of these things, and more of you are coming online. So hi Natalie, Heather, Kate, Grace. I hope you've all had a wonderful long time off with the quiet. Right, steering wheel cover. First thing you've got to do is measure your steering wheel. Mine was 47.5-ish. So I went with, and then you've got to add 3/4 of a metre so that you've got enough for your seam when you sew the two ends together. Now 47.5 inches is longer than normal width of fabric. Okay, so you either sew two pieces together or you could patchwork it. We're patchworkers, so why not patchwork it? So you could, I mean, I was lucky. I had a piece of 108 there, so mine's all come out in one. Okay, so I've managed to cut mine in one piece. So you either could patchwork it, you could do, it's got to be 6 inches wide. Okay, so whatever you do then from there, whether you patchwork it or sew two pieces together, it all works really well. So we're going to, I want 6 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this. Let me just trim that off. I'm just taking off the, ooh, new blade, lovely. Taking off the salvage. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna have to get my things back, my words, my words back. So, hiya Karen, how are you? Carol Jackson, I think you were one of the first to sponsor us, so thank you very much. Hiya Claire. All your practice blocks, yes. Think how lovely. You know the ones that Sarah's just done. She did these yesterday. 1, 2, 3, isn't it? She did these yesterday. Well, by the time you've put your your edges on, you've just about got a 6-inch. You could just do a bigger fold over on the edges. You could have pencils going round. So all you need to do now from here, you have your 47 and a half it was, and then I've got to add 3/4 of an inch, that's 47 and a half, that's 48 and a quarter it should come to. Now so 48 and a quarter in 2 would be 48 and a quarter would be 24 and a oh, hers goes the other way to mine. Okay, hang on. I'm just making room here. So I'm going to go. I thought I'd cut it right. No, we haven't. So it's 24. Just measuring it out now on her, on Sarah's mat. So we want 24, which would make 48. And I'm just going to go with an 1/8 there. I'm just going to chop that off like that. So there we go. So I've chopped it off. Now, you're going to fold your edge over a quarter and then over a half. Okay, so I should really have done that. This is one of these patterns where the steps, there's few steps, but the steps take a while. Okay, I have got one that I've already made to finish it up so that you can just see how it all finishes. It's actually a really quick make. You could use this, you could sell this on your craft fairs, because I think most steering wheels are roughly the same. I would go round and measure a few and see. I tried the one that I'd made. Ooh, I tried it on on my steering wheel this morning and found that I could have done with having my elastic tighter. So I have unpicked what I've done so I can show you how to finish it off, because you're not going to want to watch me top stitch both sides. Now you could put all the pieces together and do a bit of quilting if you wanted to. I've used a top piece of fabric and which is 6 inches wide, and then I've got a piece of batting, and I've Frankensteined my batting together because you only need a 4-inch piece, really, 4-inch wide, for a 4-inch wide to go on it, because you don't want it to, you just want it to sit under these flaps. Okay, you don't want it to actually take over and go in to here, because when you're putting your elastic in, which I forgot to bring over, which is another reason why I've unpicked the other one so that I could just show you what to do. So you can do this on both sides. A couple of cars ago you had a heated steering wheel. Dave's got a heated steering wheel. He's also got heated seats in his car. He's got an estate. I think it's a Mondeo estate, Ford Mondeo estate. And I always get out of his car and my bum misses his car straight away in this weather, because it's all nice and warm. You get out of the car and it all starts to cool down. So my bum misses his car. So I'm doing this really quickly. Yesterday I used a ruler and did it all precise, but I don't think it makes that much difference, because the elastic is going to curl it under so that it curls it underneath your steering wheel. Now you could probably get away with a smaller, you look at the one that's come off and it's not by any means wide, so you could get away with smaller amount of width if you wanted to play around with that. I think the patchwork one would look lovely, but we ended up going out again last night. We're trying to do our porch. We had a new porch before Christmas. I'm sure I told you about it because it was ongoing for a week before Christmas in that freezing cold weather. So my house was freezing, but it looks amazing. So we've been buying bits for that. So trip to IKEA, trip to B&Q to get some tiles and blah blah. So we've been doing that this week. Right, so you can see I've Frankensteined my wadding. All I did was butt it up together and then I've put a zigzag. Okay, it's not going to have a great deal of strain on it, so doing the Frankensteining is perfect for using up small amounts. Now I think I've done a larger hem on this one, so I'm just going to chop a bit more off, okay, because I don't want it to fit exact, so I'm going to take a bit more off to give me a bit of a fighting chance. And one side is not very straight anyway, so I'm going to take this down to 3.5. Do you think 3.5 would work? Yeah, 3.5 would be, oh, loads. You could take it down to 3.25. 3.25 ish. How's that? Let's see if we can cut that out. There we go. 3.25 ish. And we've taken that off, which means that my other bit probably needs to be taken down as well. So all you do is you're going to fit this. I don't know how far this camera comes. I'm going to fit this in between, down the middle. Okay, so you're going to fit this down the middle. It looks like it'll just catch, okay, all the way down. So you're doing this like that. Maybe 3.25 is a bit ambitious. And I've got this stuff. Now this we used on the bottom of our Juliet slippers. It's the stuff that you put under carpets. I get mine from IKEA. It's stuff that goes under the carpets to stop them moving. So this is what's going to make it stay in place on your steering wheel. So we're just going to flop that in there, okay, and then we're going to fold this over it, and then we're going to clip it in place. All right, so I know that I've got extra, so I'm going to pull that out. You can't iron it, so make sure all your ironing is done before you start this. Okay, so we're going to just clip it in place all along, which will hold everything together. Now what you can do once you've done this, you could sew down the middle, which will hold it all in place. You could put some quilting in there, so you could put some zigzag quilting in there, and it just holds it all together. But I didn't. I just sewed down the edges, which held it together, and it seems to be holding fine. we're just going to go along here, pin it all in. So if you made any New Year's resolutions, I decided I wasn't doing that this year because you never stick to them, and there's nothing wrong with the old me either. Oh, got that folded over. So I'm trying my best. I've started a 30-day challenge with started my 30-day challenge with yoga, and bits of me ache. I've tried not to tell the lady to go take a running jump too many times, but to be honest, there's a lot of it I can't do. I'm so unfit. But first day we did a lot of downward dogs and planks. She loves a plank, this woman. She's called Adrienne. She's from Texas. Nice lady. She says sweet a lot, like I do. So it's been nice. I'm still there. I'm still day 4. I'm still turning up for it. So that's as far as I'm concerned, that's a positive. So we're just going along here, clipping it all together. We're nearly there. Told you, it's one of those projects that there's not many steps, but the ones that you've got are very long. In fact, they're 47.5 inches long. So today seems to have been working on legs, and when I move I certainly feel as if I've been doing something. Right, we've got too much here at the end, so we're just going to chop this off here. I did, once it was all sewn, I did chop more off so that it was, I did chop more off so that it was less in the seams. So we've now managed to do our sandwich, and we're just going to go over to the machine, and I'll just go down one side so you can see what I'm doing, and then we'll have a look at the other one that I've got. Hiya Melba, how are you? We've got some goals, Jean. So what are your improving your golf handicap? What a good goal to have. I'm working my way through lots of the kits I've bought but never used yet. Well, yeah, you could do that on Sunday, couldn't you? You could join us on Sunday. Right, look that up. I'll take that off. Now, Teflon foot would be quite good for this. So I've got that one. I think that's a Teflon foot. I actually just used a walking foot because it was on my machine, and I'm a lazy sewer. I couldn't be bothered to take it off, so I left it on there. Right, let's kick that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Oh, fight for space. Right, I want my needle. I'm going to up my length of my stitch to 3. You could probably go up further, see how it goes. Okay, now I'm doing it, I want to be able to see where I'm sewing, but this sticky stuff is not catching then on your machine, so which is a good thing. So thingy down, let's do that, and I want to take it as close to the edge as I can. Okay, let's have my pot. And we're going along here. I'm just keeping an eye where my thing is going. Do you know this is better sewing than with the walking foot, I think. You could, if you don't have this type of foot and you find that this sticky stuff is sticking all the time, then you could always get a piece of paper and just lay it up to your seam. Just going along here. So Dave's just texted me before I came on air. Our dog is going in to be spayed tomorrow. She's just over a year old. And to be honest, puppies would be beautiful, but we both believe there are far too many dogs that need a home in this world anyway. So we're gonna have her done. I can just see the look she's gonna give me now. The fact that we allowed this pain to happen. Okay, so we're just going along here. So what I mean about the steps being a long step, but there's not a lot of sewing involved, really, and you could churn these out. By buying this stuff from IKEA, I mean you can buy it from us. We sell it in 30cm widths. But if you have a whole one, you could go and you could make a load for family, friends and relatives and that. Start a trend. We could start a trend, couldn't we? This is not going very straight, but along here. Oh, puppies. You see, Carol, I would love to have puppies in the house, but I just don't I would be quite happy to have puppies, but I think, yeah, there's a lot of puppies around. Oh, there's a little boy just woken up. Hello. He's looking at me as if to say, what are you doing here? That's Granny's place. So you get the idea that we're going along here. Yeah, I've found having the steering wheel cover, the furry one, I found brilliant because my hands hurt when they're cold, and I don't wear gloves because my hands heat up quite quickly. So it's one of those things where having the steering wheel has been brilliant for me in the winter. Okay, I'm just going along here. Haven't got long to go. Nearly there. Help. So we're just finishing this up. Yeah. Now you want to make sure that you do the lock stitch at the beginning and the end. Okay. So let's go over here. What number am I on? 3. So you can see I've gone along here and I've sewn all along, and I now have a channel in which to put elastic. Now yesterday I put my elastic on a safety pin and shoved it through. It took me ages. For the second side I got one of these. Now this is a knitter's needle, and I threaded my elastic through the knitter's needle, so I was able to, it went through a lot quicker. So, and I've made bigger channels this time, so it would be a lot easier to go through, because you're fighting against this this stuff and your fluff as you're going through. Even though we've got only a little bit in there, as you can see, you're still struggling with it. You do have that fold over to begin with, but it's not very big. But if you keep it towards your stitching as you go along, it'll give it a lot easier flow as you're going through. So you would sew both ends. You would then put your elastic in, and you end up with your elastic in like this. Now, as you can see from this one, it's gone wrinkly, but when I put it onto my steering wheel, it needed to be wrinklier more, so that it would fold. It was still sticking out, and you want it to be tighter so that it will fold around the steering wheel. Okay, so I've unpicked the one like that, and I'm just gonna make it do this. You really want to learn to sew, don't you? Yes. I think it's time Granny taught you how to sew. We could have you doing work for us by the time you're 5. So you would just keep going until you've got a bit of a stretch in there. Okay, you'll only be able to go so far because eventually you've got too much material on it. Okay, but you can see that now is a lot curled in than this one. Okay, then all you're going to do is sew down your elastic on either end, sew it down, and then you're going to take your doodah, whatever it is, your steering wheel cover, and you're going to put them right sides together at the end, and you're going to do your edge of foot or 1/2 inch seam allowance, and you end up with a steering wheel cover. Ta-da! Now I'm not going to do that because I've already had to unpick it 3 times. So I decided that I would just unpick the elastic on the other end. It might be a Sunday thing. I might not get around to doing it, but I'm going to tighten that, and that one I can put then on my car steering wheel. Perhaps I'll finish the other one for Sarah to go on her car. So that's it. It's really easy. Like I say, long-winded steps, but not very many steps. So that's it. You've turned your machine on this morning and got... Oh, did he? You were sewing... You were sewing this morning. You're pressing the buttons now. You know it go boom. He's such a serious child. One day I'll make him smile, and it will make me very happy to see you smile. Yes, it will. Okay, that's me. That's done. We're back next week. Sarah will be here on Tuesday, but join us on Sunday for us. Crocheting a pair of gloves for the car. Yeah, but you see this is not going to move on your wheel. Whereas your gloves, you can slip. You'd need to have sticky pads, or like gecko hands, to go on there. But yes, there's a project for you, Sarah. Driving gloves. So we shall see you next week. Sunday. See you Sunday. You are very welcome, people, and I'll see you then. All right, take care. Bye.